Hello everyone! So I finally got a few spare minutes to whip up another Halloween card. I have been absolutely swamped. Us getting sick last week completely threw off the schedule. So I am just running around in circles like a crazy person, but I had a few minutes this morning to make a card. So I pulled out the Simon Says Stamp Hey Pumpkin set. This isn't a new set like from the new Stamptember release. This was from I think last year's Stamptember release, and I just got it a couple months ago, and it's so cute. So I stamped it onto some CC Designs Cobalt Quality White cardstock with my favorite things, Black Licorice Hybrid ink, and then I stamped the little pumpkin face onto it. I like that it's separate, so you could actually make this card as like a fall card, you know, harvest time, anything like that. It doesn't have to be Halloween, but of course I made it Halloween. So I stamped the jack-o'-lantern face onto it, and then I fiddled with my Copic markers to get a nice deep orange color combo because I'm trying to match the orange in the pattern paper. This is the My Mind's Eye Frightful 6x6, which I just got recently and showed, I think it was in my last haul video. So I picked out three kind of shades of orangish brown, which was the YR 14, YR 09, and then E09. And blending them all together. So just working from lightest to darkest and kind of going back and forth with it, keeping kind of the lighter areas in more the center of the pumpkin, just give them a bit more dimension. And I'm not worried at all about going outside the lines a bit and it seeping out because I'm going to trim this image out with scissors. So even then I still try to keep it contained, more so just because of my OCD. And then for the little kitty cat, I decided to kind of make him look like a little calico cat, because our cat is actually a calico, even though she absolutely hates me and won't have anything to do with me and won't sit still long enough for me to get a good look at her to see even what she looks like. So this looks nothing like our cat, just long story. Anyway, I colored it as just a cute little calico, which is really easy with Copics. It kind of gives you some like room. You don't have to do any blending. You just kind of splotch some colors on and you're good to go. So once I was done coloring, I just trimmed it out with scissors and set it aside, and then I die cut a piece of My Favorite Things natural cardstock with MFT's Tag Your It Dynamics to make a cute little tag. And then I inked up the stamp again and stamped it onto the tag just so that I'd have those little whiskers there that are peeking out, because I just trimmed those off when I fussy cut this because I was not going to trim around like little tiny whiskers. So stamped it, and then I edged this image with a black marker. I'm just using my Block Soot Distress marker because that's the one I keep handy for this. And it just covers all those little fussy white edges that peek out when you fussy cut, and you know, they just look unfinished, especially when you're adhering it over like any other color than white cardstock. So edging it with the black marker makes a huge difference. So did that, and then I stamped the sentiment from this set, which I absolutely love. I know all these ones by Simon Says that have this writing. It's Christina Warner's writing, and I absolutely love it. Like, she has the nicest writing. I would love to be able to write like that. So did that, and then I wanted to add a little bit of shading around the main image here. So I just used my W3, W1, and W00 marker. And when you're coloring on any other cardstock but white, it's always going to look darker because of the wetness of the marker, and then it'll dry lighter than you think. So you need to kind of experiment with it. But I knew that combo would work really well. And then I just adhered my little cutout image over that with some Tombow Monomulti. And I just love how it pops. Like, you could have stamped it just onto the tag and colored it with markers. It would have been fine. But to get it so vibrant, it works better to stamp it on the white. And then you get that great vibrant color. And then the cat is obviously white as well. So it just, in the end, I just find it easier. And then I used my orange Wink Stella to coat the pumpkin. Some of the Wink Stella colors are too dark, like they will obscure any detail, but the orange is not bad at all. It just kind of deepened the coloring, but you can still see all the shading and everything I did. And it gives it the most amazing sparkle. So I used the orange for the pumpkin, and then I used the black for the little jack-o'-lantern face, being really careful with it because the black has a tendency to get everywhere, but you can just see how much, like, the black is dark and it really deepens whatever you coat it with. So coated the jack-o'-lantern face, and then I'm going to turn on my overhead light because in natural light you can't really see the shimmer, but just wait, when I turn on the light here, isn't that not fabulous? I love my Wink of Stella, and the colors just, they have shimmer that the clear just doesn't match at all. So love that. And then once I was done with that, I've got some orange grosgrain ribbon. I've had this stuff for years. I got it at Michael's. I can't even tell you how many years ago. I've had it forever, but just going through my ribbon drawer, saw that and I was like, oh, it's perfect for this card. So I threaded it through the hole in the tag, and then I just used some heavyweight black thread to wrap around it and tie it in a little bow. And then there's the pattern paper from the pack, and I just trimmed them down to fit on my card. So standard A2 size card, so 4¼ by 5½, and adhered that pumpkin paper, and that's kind of what got me going with this whole card. So I didn't want to cover up too much of the pumpkins. I still wanted you to be able to see them. I like all the crazy little faces on them. They kind of give me a kick, I think. So adhered that, and then I just added the black and white pattern paper and then this polka dot pattern paper, which you'll only see a little border of it in the end. And I was going to keep everything flat and then decided might as well have a little bit of fun with it. So I popped the tag up on some foam tape to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I die cut some bats from the My Favorite Things Spooky Scene Dynamics, which I've shown in a couple videos already in several posts. But I just die cut the bat and the body from some black cardstock, and then decided to pop the bat up on tape as well. But I'm using the Cool Tack clear foam tape just because it's a little bit smaller, and that way I don't have to worry about any white peeking out with the black cardstock. So just 2 tiny little pieces was enough to adhere each of those little bodies to the bats. And then just a little dab of Tombow Monomalti just behind the bodies to adhere them to either side of the tag. And that's going to finish off the outside of the card. So really simple, quick, easy card. To finish off the inside, I just trimmed down some scraps that were left over from cutting out the pieces for the outside of the card. So I trimmed those down, added some adhesive, and then laid them out on the inside of the card, making sure I like to line up full strips like that below the little spine of the card so that it opens and closes easily. And then that leaves a little piece hanging over. So then I just take my scissors and trim that off. And then there was a little Happy Halloween stamp in this set. So of course I inked that up with the same black ink and stamped that on the inside of the card, and that finished it off. So if you're interested in any of the supplies used, there'll be a link below to my blog post with links to all the supplies used. So check out the description box below. And yeah, there will be a direct link to my blog post. You can check it out there as well. Thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing and thumbs upping my videos, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!